love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just live it up. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you
Well, hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. I hope y'all are well. Thank you guys so much for being in here. It means a lot. It truly does. All right. So I don't normally go live on Thursdays, but since Rebel, we're going to start doing this. If Rebel goes live during the day on Thursdays, then I will try my best to go live on Thursday nights. I don't know if it'll be karaoke or if it'll be a mental health or it'll be, I don't know, but we're going to try to make it where me and Rebel both go live on Thursdays. I'm just not 100% sure on the time or what we're going to be covering, but yes. So, and I don't normally go live on Thursdays. You guys know that. If y'all haven't sent in y'all's request for the bonfire, I pinned it to the top of the chat. I can't remember. Hold on. Let me see what is for tomorrow night's bonfire. It is, hold on just a second. Sorry, guys. Tomorrow night's bonfire is MAGA 2025. So any song you would think would be good for 2025, Make America Great Again, please send it in. I know Rebel said he doesn't have a buttload of requests. So please send in your request. If you would like to hear Rebel play you a song, you send in the request through the email that I just put. You put your YouTube name, unless you want to use your real name. He don't dox nobody. Your YouTube name, the song, and if you want to dedicate it to anybody. So, all right, Summer Thunder. Okay, so tonight we're covering, and I sent this out to a few people that I have on Messenger. I don't really know all of you guys. If I had like a group chat or something, I would send it out to everybody. But I sent out to what I could. So tonight we're going to be covering acceptance, if I can say that pronounced correctly. Acceptance. Tonight we're going to be going over acceptance. What does it mean to be accepted? Do you feel accepted or not? Does acceptance interfere with your life and self-esteem? Let's discuss. All right, so let me go in and say hi to the lovely people in chat. Hello, Beagle Mom. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. And Summer Thunder, good to see you, love. Hope you're well. And Happy New Year, guys. I can't believe it's already 2025. That's crazy. I hope y'all had a very Merry Christmas and a very good New Year so far. Ours has been okay. I don't know if Rebel told you this or not, but a dear friend of the family's, which she's more like, she's not blood family, but she's still family. And she, bless her heart, she passed away today. She was suffering with COPD real bad. Hello, see you later. Happy New Year. Good to see you. Hope you're well. All right, guys. I haven't done this. I haven't done lives like this in a little bit. So I figured, why not? And with it being the first year, why not? And I think this is a very important to cover. So I hope y'all enjoy the information that we go over. And let me try to make it a little bit bigger because I can't even see that. And I've got new glasses, guys. I can't even see that. Can y'all see that okay? Let me know if y'all can see that okay. Please. Let me know if y'all can see it okay by putting a 1 in chat or saying, hey, I could see it, or no, I can't see it. Okay. Okay, we're covering acceptance. Like I said, hello, Miss Julie. Good to see you, sweetheart. Hope you're well, honey. Says, what is acceptance? Acceptance is the process of allowing things to be as they are without actively trying to change them. Much like mindfulness, it entails letting any experience, positive, neutral, or negative, simply exist in life without trying to alter, avoid, or deny it. To some, acceptance comes easily. To many, acceptance is a process that requires conscious effort, skill, and wisdom. Practicing acceptance has long been seen as having a positive effect on people's lives. Psychologists have long persisted that the practice of acceptance leads to better mental health, personal growth, and wellness. In addition, practicing acceptance enables people to open themselves to unpleasant feelings or thoughts and allow them to exist without trying to suppress or avoid them. It also provides an opportunity to move on more quickly from issues and struggles. When we allow the present moment to exist, we can more easily begin to work on what is important now without attempting to deny, suppress, or reject it. Throughout history, the utility and benefits of acceptance have been emphasized in religion and spirituality. The oft-recited Serenity Prayer is an apt description of the principle of acceptance. Oh, I hope you're feeling okay, Miss Jolie. And you guys know that the Serenity Prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Underlining principles of acceptance. In a comprehensive review of the concept of acceptance published in the Journal of Imagination, Cognition, and Personality, authors William and Lynn discuss the primary components of acceptance as the following. Non-attachment. Non-attachment refers to not letting oneself get attached to things, material or otherwise, but mostly material. In a world of impermanence, within this perspective, people recognize that non-attachment is beneficial because nothing permanently remains the same. Everything changes and everything passes. Non-avoidance. Non-avoidance refers to not avoiding certain areas of life, such as uncomfortable situations or truths. According to the principles of non-avoidance, people can effectively deal with events that require attention when they engage with them rather than avoid them. Non-judgment. And you see a lot of this, guys, in the world that we live in. People are so judgmental. Non-judgment refers to a conscious effort to avoid evaluating something as good, bad, right, or wrong. In common terms, this can mean attempting not to judge others and to have an open mind towards situations, people, and events, leading to deeper levels of understanding and relationships. There, that's probably a little bit better, guys. Sorry about that. Tolerance. Tolerance refers to allowing something challenging to take place while still staying present with it. It can include experiences that are physical, emotional, mental, or other. Tolerating challenges experiences facilitates, greater acceptance of reality. Tolerance requires strength and can be practiced, trained, and developed. Willingness. Willingness refers to choosing to be a part of something. One can choose not to avoid, judge, or be intolerant of a thing. Therefore, willingness refers to a conscious choice to be an accepting person. Acceptance is not an all or nothing concept, but rather a spectrum. On the other side of the acceptance spectrum are non-acceptant mechanisms, including avoidance, resistance, denial, suppression, and repression. These approaches run counter to acceptance and can lead to unpleasant outcomes. Avoidance and suppression of experiences deemed to be negative can lead to a variety of mental health conditions such as depression, anxiety, absent-mindedness, and poor quality of life. The difference between acceptance and self-acceptance. Sometimes people struggle to understand the difference between acceptance and self-acceptance as mental health practices. In general, the difference relates to the locus of practice. Self-acceptance refers to practicing acceptance only in relation to oneself, whereas acceptance can occur in relation to oneself, other people, or even events, objects, situations, and circumstances. Self-acceptance has long been as pivotal to mental and emotional well-being, and psychologists have found correlations between self-acceptance and the acceptance of others. For example, Carl Rogers and fellow noted psychologist Abraham Maslow placed substantial emphasis on self-acceptance, with Rogers suggesting that self-acceptance improves relationships between people. One form of self-acceptance is experimental acceptance, which refers to embracing private experiences. Example, thoughts, emotions, memories, experiences an individual has that no outside observer can directly see, and allowing these experiences to be present without trying to avoid or get rid of them. A popular topic for academic discussion among psychological researchers have been a comparison of self-acceptance and self-esteem. In general, self-acceptance has been viewed as having more positive mental and emotional health outcomes than self-esteem. A leading researcher in this area, psychologist Albert Ellis, described how to apply self-acceptance to help people feel good about themselves. So these are tips on to help you with acceptance and to feel good about yourself. See yourself as worthwhile and valuable because you exist and are unique with specific strengths and weaknesses. Oh, well, she could have, Julie. You never know, honey. And the way this world is. Accept yourself in spite of your achievements, your flaws, and whether or not people approve of you. That's easier said than that. I've had I've had a hard life, guys, and y'all know a little bit. Hello, Mary Jane. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. But it's very hard. You try to accept yourself for you, but it's also very hard to be accepted when you want to be accepted so bad, if that makes sense at all. Because all my life, I've always wanted, to be accepted. And a lot of times I got rejected, if that makes sense. Accept yourself in spite of your achievements, your flaws, and whether or not people approve of you. Do your best to improve on past behavior. Don't rate or berate yourself. Evaluate only what you think, feel, and do. Doing okay, Mary Jane. I hope you're well too, honey. Potential benefits of acceptance. Higher acceptance levels lead to or positively correlate with numerous benefits in one's mental health, personal growth, and wellness, such as the following. Work-related benefits, including a better sense of job control, increased pain tolerance, and reduced pain. Hello, Chris. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. A happy New Year to all of y'all. Reduced disability, reduced depression, reduced pain-related anxiety, lower levels of psychopathology, greater sense of well-being, improved satisfaction with relationships, better affect or emotional regulation, expand range of possible experiences, more opportunities for positive action, increased sense of compassion, decreased sense of blame for others, increased reasonableness, increased peacefulness, reduction in distressing emotions, better outcome in therapy, encouraging one to be their authentic self. People often avoid accepting difficult circumstances because experiencing such events may cause them to feel helpless, hopeless, or unacceptable. However, many researchers and theorists believe that certain unhealthy mental health patterns and conditions develop from unsuccessful efforts to avoid. Hold on just a minute, guys. If y'all haven't hit the like, please do so. I really appreciate y'all being in here. It really, truly means a lot. And me and Rebel decided we're grifting or drifting or whatever it's called, he said. So if y'all would like to donate to the channel, there's Cash App, there's PayPal, and there's Super Chat. So I'm just going to be like Rebel. Let's see. However, many researchers and theorists believe that certain unhealthy mental health patterns and conditions develop from unsuccessful efforts to avoid, deny, or repress perceived negative internal experiences. Often the negative feelings or situations people seek to avoid can even be exacerbated by their efforts to suppress them. Some of these dagburn words I cannot pronounce, guys. Drifting, grifting, whatever the word is. I'm doing like Ripple said. In contrast, the practice of acceptance can help people productively process overwhelming feelings of helplessness and hopelessness. As noted by psychologist Jill Stockard, and Niloufar Afari in the Big Book of ACT Metaphors. Acceptance does not imply liking or wanting, nor does it represent giving up, giving in, or resignation. Simply put, acceptance means gently holding whatever arises. In particular, acceptance can help people build more harmonious, inner and outer lives. People often function better when they and those around them are authentic, accepting, and present. Therapies with a core emphasis on acceptance. I did not know that there's therapies just for work, like the main part is acceptance. I didn't know that. So we're going to learn something new. Several forms of psychotherapy have been developed based on the premise that acceptance is a mentally healthy practice. These acceptance-based therapies aim to teach people how to allow reality to be as it is without avoiding it. Examples of such treatment are included below. Oh, I hate to hear that, Lisa. I hope you feel better, sweetheart. Hello, PCT. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. Much love to you. Thank you, honey, for hitting the like. I really appreciate it. Acceptance and commitment therapy. Acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, uses acceptance, mindfulness, commitment, and behavior strategies to improve a person's ability to respond to life's challenges, flexibility. ACT practitioners use a wide range of techniques to help people establish a strong and healthy sense of self, cultivate presence, choose guiding values, and commit to implementing their values. ACT is often used to treat anxiety disorders such as generalized anxiety disorder and social anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsive disorder or OCD, psychosis, substance use disorder, eating disorder, and chronic pain. Dialectical behavior therapy, or DBT, is a comprehensive, evidence-based form of therapy that blends cognitive behavior therapy, or CBT, with awareness, acceptance, and validation. DBT offers individuals strategies to handle stress, develop and maintain healthy relationships, regulate emotions, and live in the present. Researchers have demonstrated that DBT can help people with borderline personality disorder. I suffer actually with borderline personality disorder myself, and also major depressive disorders. I suffer with a lot, guys. And I know there's a lot of people in this world that do as well. DBT can help people with borderline personality disorder, major depressive disorder, anxiety disorder, and other mental health conditions. And I'm probably going to have a hard time pronouncing this one, guys, so I'm just going to wing it. Gestalt therapy is a part of humanistic experimental approach that considers individuals to be complex, organizing symptoms and emphasizes human capacity for growth, improved functioning, and reflective consciousness. Example, the ability to reflect on the past, present, and the future. Gestalt therapy posits that healthy change occurs when people accept their experiences rather than try to modify, deny, or disown them. Gestalt therapy promotes the importance of mindful awareness and accepting personal responsibility in life. Mindfulness-based congenital therapy, or MBCT, is a form of therapy that alleviates anxiety by encouraging people to attend to their present experiences and physical sensations with a non-judgmental sense of openness and curiosity. MBCT uses mindfulness techniques and tools to disrupt people's negative, habitual, and irrational thought process by decreasing their cognitive reactivity to such thoughts. Research has shown that MBCT can help people with major depression, anxiety disorders, and bipolar disorder. Group therapy. Now, guys, group therapy might be for you, but group therapy is not for me. And it, like I said, to each his own. People might enjoy group therapy, but me personally, I do not like group therapy. I'm better with one-on-one therapy, because group therapy, I went to group therapy one time, and it was just, in my opinion, it was awful. I didn't feel comfortable. I felt like I couldn't open up. They just said, sit down, imagine you're on the beach with the wind blowing in your hair and the waves rolling through your feet. And that didn't help me at all, guys. Like, I have a lot of trauma in my life, and they thought that that would help me. That's just me, though. Like I said, I'm not putting it down, but me personally, I'm not good on group therapy, but you guys might. I'm just saying, at least try it and see if it's for you. It's not for me, but it could be for you. So I'm just saying that's my experience. I was not comfortable. I was not, I'm like Miss Julie. I didn't like to be put on the spot. I would rather just open up one-on-one than everybody sitting there looking at me and staring at me and like they're just judging. And I just did not, it was just not for me. But like I said, teach his own. If you like group therapy or you want to try it, I'm not going to shy you away from it. You just have to try it out and see if it's good for you. Because I'm one of those people, it was not good for me. It was not at all. Group therapy is a form of therapy that is conducted in a group setting with one or more therapists and several clients. It takes place in spaces such as private practices and hospitals and can serve as a supplement to individual therapy or as a standalone treatment. Hello, Unicorn Indian. No, I was saying you don't have a Facebook. If you had a Facebook, I would send you a message. I didn't even know you had a Facebook, Unicorn. It's probably, I was trying to talk to text, so it probably made no sense. I'm sorry. Oh no, I tried it one time. You'll have to send it to me, honey. Because I was sending, like I was saying earlier, I was sending out the link to the live, the YouTube live for the people that I knew on Facebook. And that's why I tried to send you just a message. But I didn't know you had a Facebook. So now that I have Facebook, or I know you have Facebook, I can send you, like if I randomly go live or whatever, I can send you the live over and you can always watch it later, whatever. But anyway, I did group therapy one time in my whole entire life. And I said, absolutely not. Oh, did you? My phone is, I think it's dead, I believe. Group therapy is a form of therapy that is conducted in a group setting with one or more therapists and several clients. It takes place in spaces such as private practicing hospitals and can serve as supplemental to individual therapy or as standalone treatment. In group therapy, therapists and clients must work together to establish a sense of non-judgment, acceptance. Yeah, girl, I'm telling you, you gonna need therapy after you go to group therapy. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you. In group therapy, therapists and clients must work together to establish a sense of non-judgment, which that's easier said than done, guys, because there's so many people judgmental. It's crazy. Acceptance, safety, respect, honesty, privacy, and dedication within the group. Group members do this by actively listening to one another, reflecting on what others say, questioning and comforting problems, and emphasizing with each other. Creating healthy interactions with other people who struggle similarly provides individuals with paths to resolve anxiety, fear, shame, guilt, loneliness, and other emotions associated with mental struggle. Oh, was it court ordered? Oh, Lord, I bet you hated that. Oh, my goodness. Bless your heart, Miss Julie. Rational emotive behavior therapy, founded by pioneering psychologist Albert Ellis, Rational emotional behavior therapy, or REBT. It looks like debt, but REBT instead of DEBT. A form of congenital behavior therapy, CBT, focuses on rational and irrational thoughts and beliefs, as well as humanistic theories of unconditional self-acceptance. Now, I've never heard of this one, guys. Shema therapy. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Developed by psychologist Jeffrey Young in the 80s, is a treatment technique to help people with more severe and difficult to treat mental conditions. Yeah, I could just imagine, Miss Julie, what you went through. Oh my Lord! Just that one, it was not. I was not comfortable at all. I could just imagine you for a year, and it was court order. Lord have mercy. Young determined that many of these clients needed to develop a deeper level of trust and empathetic bond with a therapist. Young introduced a concept of limiting reparenting as a part of Shema therapy, which helped therapists work with clients on particularly challenging emotional issues that usually started from childhood. Shema therapy emphasizes empathetic connection and acceptance and has demonstrated success in clients with borderline personality disorder and other personality disorders. Sorry, guys. Lord have mercy. I got strangled. Ego state therapy. Ego state therapy is a psychodynamic therapeutic approach that also incorporates principles of group and family therapy. Schema? Oh, I don't know. Some of these I have a hard time pronouncing, guys. So just swing it. Miss Julie said Summer, do you see that drawn on my page 3 down? I want one. According to this type of therapy, character or personality is formed from ego states or different parts of inner states. This therapy aims to identify, acknowledge, and resolve conflicts between a person's ego states. The goals of ego state therapy are as follows. Locate ego states harboring pain, trauma, anger, or frustration, and facilitate expression, release, comfort, and empowerment. Facilitate functional communication among ego states. The statement, I hate myself when I'm like that, indicates 2 states lacking in proper communication. Help the client understand their ego states so that the states may be better used to the client's benefit. Example, allowing the client to, at one time, be open to enjoy emotional experiences, and another time be assertive when challenged. Yeah, it's exactly right, Miss Julie. I'm just winging it because I can't pronounce some of these darn words. No, we're talking about acceptance. These are just different forms of acceptance therapy. I'm just going to go over them because I've never heard of some of these. Reminiscence therapy. Reminiscence therapy focuses on discussing and reviewing experiences and events from the past that can be conducted in an individual or group setting and may include objects such as photos, audios, videos, or memorabilia. This form of therapy helps people review and recollect their life arc, experiences, challenges, and joys. Using reminiscence therapy, individuals can often learn to approach their past through a more balanced and accepting perspective with the therapist's assistance. Practicing acceptance. Acceptance applies to many aspects of our lives and is something we can develop over time through our own practices or with assistance. Yeah, I haven't either, Summer Thunder. And that's why I was like, okay, well, let's go over them. I know it's different kind of therapy, but they said that it's good for acceptance. Like if you're having a hard time accepting things, trying to be acceptance of like a group or work or whatever. That was good. Those are good therapies to do. So that's why we was going on, because I've never heard of them before, ever. Some of them anyway. Applying acceptance in our lives. 2 ways in which we can apply acceptance to our lives pertain to our relationships with others and how we face loss. Acceptance of others. According to the pioneering psychologist Carl Rogers, genuine acceptance of another person and their ever-changing aspects leads to feelings of warmth, safety, being liked and prized in a relationship. To reach this level of intersubjective acceptance, Rogers recommends practicing the following. Try to cultivate warm regard for a particular person as someone who has unconditional self-worth despite their present conditions, behaviors, or feelings. Respect and like people as an individual separate from yourself, and be willing to view them as possessing their own feelings and experiences. Cultivate regard for people's attitudes in the moment, no matter how negative or positive, and no matter how much they may contradict other attitudes they have held in the past. Acceptance of loss. Like we went over this. We went over grief and stuff like that in the past. So this just kind of goes with it. You're fine, unicorn. Y'all just be yourself, guys. The 5 stages of grief developed by Dr. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross based on her work with people with terminal illnesses. Portend acceptance is often the final emotional stage when dealing with a significant personal loss. The 5 stages of grief are as followed: denial and isolation, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. These stages of emotional processing are used in various settings involving loss and grief, including making sense of one's own death, the death of another, breakups, dealing with parental divorce, or battling an addiction. Acceptance doesn't necessarily mean that one is okay with losing a loved one, but rather that they have accepted the reality they are no longer with them physically. Developing our propensity for acceptance. Acceptance can be developed through self-help and personal and development practices with the aid of a coach or therapist, and or through interacting with accepting people, including friends and family. Acceptance is a process, and life often provides different opportunities to practice it through the numerous and various experiences we encounter. Alrighty, that's one of them, guys. Let's go to the next one. Just a minute. This is from Psychology Today. I get a lot of information from here, so I hope y'all are enjoying this so far. I know it's mental health, and not a whole lot of, like, a lot of people's told me, Becca, I love you, but like, people tell me this all the time. Becca, I love you, but we go on YouTube to get away from our mental health, not hear about it. So, it's hard when you want to bring awareness to certain things. And, I just want to be like everybody else. I want to be accepted. I don't want to be rejected. And nobody likes to be rejected with whatever's going on in your life. Nobody wants to be rejected. Everybody wants to be accepted for who they are. This is resistance, how the practice of acceptance can help you get unstuck. For some reason, this one is very small. Oh, Miss Unicorn, you have not hurt nobody, honey. It's true, but it just like, you want to reach out to more people. and you want to help others. But I know these kind of lives, I don't do it for the views, but I do like to see people in here, you know, listening and let me know what they thought about it, and kind of like putting their point of view on it, and it's just hard because, kind of goes with acceptance. You want people to accept you for who you are, what you talk about, what you do, you know what I mean? So it's, I think this is a very important and a lot of things that we cover in here, which we haven't covered a lot of mental health, but I'm trying to get back to it. But we have in the almost 3 years, guys. But what I'm saying is we haven't done it in a while, and I need to get back into it. It is hard, and that's why I try to, if we're doing something important, like bringing awareness to something mental health wise, well-being wise, just supportive and letting people know that you're there for them. And I try to turn it around and make it fun with karaoke and stuff like that. Well, thank you, Mary Jane. I really appreciate it. A lot of people have told me I have a soothing voice, and a lot of people go to sleep and don't mean to go to sleep, but they just go to sleep because my voice is soothing to them. So they say, we like it when you read. A lot of people, you hear a lot of different things. So I'm just trying to do the best I can, Shifting focuses on what you can't control to what you can control. These are the key points on what we're going to cover on this website, guys. Well, I'm pretty Southern unicorn, honey. Acceptance isn't about liking or approving a situation. It's about recognizing reality without judgment. Acceptance helps us move from resisting to taking action and working with what is within our control. Practicing acceptance can foster resistance and lead to improved mental health or mental and emotional well-being. I don't think Indiana's not real Southern, are they? I don't know. I ain't never been to Indiana. I don't know. In life, we will experience as many challenges and untimely and unfair circumstances. I definitely will. I definitely will, Miss Julie. That sounds interesting. They come with being human and are often beyond our control. What we do have control over, however, is how we respond to them. We can avoid unnecessary suffering through the practice of acceptance. Imagine looking forward to your morning walk, only to look out your window and see that it's raining. That's such a bummer, guys. It just, I am as south in Indiana as you can get unless you jump in the river. I love you too, Indiana. Lord have mercy. Love you too, Unicorn. Lord have mercy, guys. I think you're close to Kentucky, I believe. Don't quote me. I think you're kind of close to the Kentucky line or something like that. It says you start cursing the rain for ruining your plans and vocalize your disbelief of the circumstances with things like, I can't believe this, and why today? This initial frustration is natural, and you can spend so much time resisting or wishing that things were different, and yet you still won't be able to change the fact that it's raining. Hello, Hippie G Ma. Good to see you. See, she's a listen. I'm gonna read Hippie G Ma to sleep. On the other hand, if you acknowledge your frustration and accept that the rain just is, then you can put your energy into deciding how to proceed with your day, which may simply involve grabbing an umbrella and raincoat and going for a walk anyway. By shifting focus on what's outside of your control to what's within your control, you put yourself in a place of action and forward-focused thinking. Resistance versus acceptance. Oh, really, Julie? That's pretty interesting, honey. Just as with the rain, when the unfavorable situation occurs and difficult emotions arise, think anger, sadness, guilt, frustration, and anxiety, we can choose to react with resistance or acceptance. Let's look at the difference. Resistance questions keep you stuck. Why is this happening to me? Why would they do that? We did everything right, so why did this happen? That's exactly right, unicorn. In my opinion, just when you wake up, look in the mirror and say it's going to be a great day. Absolutely, honey. I love that. And I love your picture with the little feet with the butterfly. I love that. That's awesome. Acceptance questions get you unstuck. What is my next right decision? What is within my control? How can I navigate this difficult situation? It is easy for us to lean towards the questions that keep us stuck. They are easily accessible, especially when we feel tired or overwhelmed, but they are limiting. We may even find ourselves dwelling on questions that have no answers, which only keeps us trapped. Acceptance is typically the first step in making any change. The goal is to move away from asking why questions and move forward with the action oriented how and what questions instead. Oh my goodness, unicorn, you're not old. That would be an awesome tattoo. That would be an awesome tattoo, unicorn. Well, if you live close by, I got you, girl. But I think you're like 6 or 7 hours away. What acceptance is and what it is not. Acceptance is the active process of seeing reality as it is, without judgment. It is understanding the difference between what you can control and what you can't. Through the practice of acceptance, you are making space for your experiences, along with the painful, uncomfortable thoughts and feelings that come with it. It is the acknowledgement of the present for what it is, rather than what it used to be or what you think should be, and utilizing your skills to respond appropriately. I thought you was just a few years older than me, unicorn, because I just turned 38, guys. You guys know this. I just turned 38, December 29th. So you're probably about 42 or 43. I don't think you're much older than me at all. I believe that much of the difficulty surrounding acceptance comes down to misunderstanding of what acceptance looks like. Many people equate acceptance with approval, but that is not true. Acceptance doesn't mean you like, want support, or would choose what you are accepting. It is not giving up, losing hope, or relinquishing agency. It is also not passivity, settling, or apathy. In reality, acceptance is quite the opposite. All unicorn, you're as young as you feel. And you know what? I feel like I'm 80, but I'm still a big kid at heart. So we'll just leave it like that. That's exactly right, unicorn. Just take one day at a time and wake up thinking God woke up, then one foot in front of the other, in my opinion. Absolutely. And Summer said, when I wake up, I say, you got this. Absolutely, Summer Thunder. Oh, honey, I would have never known that. I would have never guessed that, unicorn. Never guessed that, love. Never in a million years. See, and the thing about it is, and I love it. You guys know how much I love you guys, but like it seems like that people are like I hang around, and I guess that's a good thing about it. A lot of people say that I'm an old soul, and Summer Thunder just said that, but I hang around with people that are older than me. I enjoy the people that are older than me because I don't deal with bullshit. I don't deal with drama. I just want to live life to the fullest as possible. It can be acceptance accepting of others, not being rejecting of others, and being a difference in somebody's life. So I've always hung out with people that are older than me. That's just me. That's just something I enjoy. And I look up to these people that are older than me. Like they've lived it and they have wisdom, if that makes sense. So like younger people, they look up to me because I'm way older than them, if that makes sense. Well, I've always liked people that are older than me, and I get along better with people that are older than me. So, that's just what I've always done. I love everybody, but I just get along better with older people. I love the older music. I love the older styles. Rebel said I should have been raised in the 80s, not born in the 80s. He said I would have loved the 70s and 80s. Like, I would absolutely love it. But unfortunately, I was born in 86. So I was raised in the 90s and the 2000s. So I didn't really I would have loved to have been born or raised in the 80s. That would have been freaking awesome. Well, hopefully, unicorn. Hopefully, sweetheart. Sometime soon. I would love to meet each and every one of you guys. Each and every one of you guys. I would love to. John Cabot Zen summed this up beautifully with these words. Acceptance doesn't by any stretch of the imagination mean passive resignation. No, you ain't Hippie G-Ma. I love you. Hippie G-Ma knows me and Rebel personally. Been to her house several times. She's been to our house several times. She's known Rebel for a really long time. So she knows that. She knows us personally, and she knows what you see on these YouTube streets from me and Rebel is what you see in person. We're the exact same people. Exact same people. I know some people change because they're on YouTube, but me and Rebel been me and Rebel since day one. And like I said, what you see is what you get. We're the same exact people in person. And Hippie G-Ma knows that. It takes a huge amount of fortitude and motivation to accept what is, especially when you don't like it, and then work wisely and effectively as best as you possibly can with the circumstances you find yourself in and with the resources at your disposal, both inner and outer, to mitigate, heal, redirect, and change what can be changed. Hello, Tiger Mama. Good to see you, honey. I hope you're well, sweetheart. Why practice acceptance? I think this is important information that we're going over, guys. I mean, y'all might, like, at one point in your time, you might might be like, I don't care, I don't really give a crap. But at one point in your time, you wanted to be accepted, whether it's at work, at school, and your own, being your own person, wanting people to accept you, wanting to have more friends, like colleagues, whatever. At one point in your life or another, you've wanted to be accepted. So I think this is really, really important, guys. Yep, Hippie G-Ma, she's young. She's a youngin', except she's got the bionic body. She got new knees and new shoulders, and she got new all kinds of stuff. Oh, Tiger Mama, just stay safe and warm, honey. And you guys, Hippie G-Ma is most definitely a hippie. Hands down. Hands down. If y'all met her in person, y'all would love it. Because she's got a van that she will never part with, but it is a VW van. And it's really big. Like it's for storage or blankets or something. And every time I go to her house, I'm like, Hippie G-Ma, I want your van. Oh, you can't have it. I'm like, well, girl, if you ever get rid of it, I want it. It's a big, huge VW van. It's about the size of like a hope chest. And I think she's got blankets and stuff like that in it. But it's amazing. It's amazing. Why practice? Oh, Tiger Mom, please reach out to me, honey. I'm here for each and every one of you guys. Don't be depressed. Just know you're supported, and I'm here for you. And we're all here for one another. So don't be sad, honey. Everything will be all right. And prayers for you, Tiger Mama. And it'll be okay, honey. Practicing acceptance is a process that takes time, space, and intention. The reality is that we are given many opportunities to practice, whether by choosing to accept our past, our emotions. Oh, an ice cooler. Well, I couldn't remember what it was, Hippie Team. Oh, Lord. Whether by choosing to accept our past, our emotions, our thoughts, external events, and even other individuals, here are 5 benefits of practicing acceptance. Number 1, acceptance helps us validate our emotional experience. When we acknowledge and accept our emotions without judgment, we recognize that they are a natural response to our own circumstances, rather than something to be suppressed or dismissed. This validation creates space for self-compassion and honors our humanity. Number 2, acceptance supports our mental and emotional well-being. Resisting, denying, or avoiding reality and difficult emotions takes effort and often prolongs suffering. Research shows that those who work to accept their mental experiences rather than judge them have better psychological health in 2017. Number 3, acceptance helps foster resistance. In my book, Calm Within the Storm, I outline acceptance as one of the 5 key pillars of resiliency. When we can step back from the accept a challenge or hardship. I'm so sorry, Tiger Mama, honey. Yes, it does, Julie. It's freaking awesome. When we can take a step back from and accept a challenge of hardship, we are better able to navigate our way through. Acceptance helps us shift our attention and take appropriate action. Shifting from resisting or wishing things were different to responding with acceptance helps to reduce our internal struggle. When we see and accept things as they are, it becomes easier for us to direct our energy and attention into finding solutions and moving forward constructively. Acceptance enhances life satisfaction and contributes to greater sense of inner peace. Number 5, being open and willing to make space for uncomfortable thoughts and emotions can allow us to live more meaningfully and freely. In 2020, I can't even pronounce that darn word. When we no longer expend energy fighting against what is beyond our control, we open ourselves up to greater contentment and a deeper sense of well-being. Unicorn, and she's put her number in there before. She don't care. She said there's a such thing as a block button on the phone if you call me and I don't know who you are. Ain't that right, Unicorn? Final thoughts. By practicing acceptance daily with what may be the little inconveniences, the weather, spilling a coffee, traffic, or a canceled meeting, we create and strengthen neural connections for the future. Of course, it is easier for us to come to accept the rain than it is for us to accept something like a financial hardship. Oh, I know that one big time, guys. Life-altering diagnosis or loss. Yet the idea remains the same. When we accept our reality for what it is, we loosen the grip these events and experiences hold on us and create more space for growth. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people are suffering. A lot of people are suffering with financial hardship, life-altering diagnoses or loss. A lot of people are suffering with a lot of things. And that's why I say you just got to be kind to one another. You don't know what people are going through. Just be kind and let people know that you're there for them. When we accept our reality for what it is, we loosen the grip these events and experiences hold on us and create more space for growth. Let this be a gentle invitation to allow yourself to let go of what is no longer needed to be able to move on for the sake of your emotional health. Slow down, feel your feelings, accept what you cannot change, and choose to put your energy and focus into finding your next right step. All right, and then I have one more, guys. All right, give me just a minute. I try not to make these lives too long, guys. I don't want to bore people. Let me try to make this a little bit bigger because I have a hard time seeing myself. All right, so this is acceptance of what is 17 things to accept in life. This was October 14th, 2024. So this is just 2 months and just a couple days old. And just looking at that picture, guys, it's very peaceful. Just looking at that picture, it's very peaceful. Well, Tiger Mama, honey, if they call you and you don't know who they are, just block them. There's a block button for a reason, honey. Even if you got to block every number just so people will leave you alone. That's perfectly fine because you got to have your peace, honey. And that's not peace if people want to be a pain in the ass. In life, we need to have an acceptance of what is. It can be hard to let go of the past and accept whatever events happens to us. The more we fight instead of having an acceptance of what it is, the more likely we are to suffer and experience pain. Life will always throw curveballs that we can't prepare for or anticipate. So in this article, we're going to share 17 things to accept in life so you can mentally train yourself to be more resilient, and present. Well, that probably helps you feel a bit better because they're blocked, honey. Okay, acceptance. 17 things to accept in life. I'm trying to make this a little bit bigger. It's still real tiny. You know, okay, that looks a little bit more clear. You guys let me know if that's more clear than when it was. Please. 17 things to accept in life. Number 1, yourself. Having acceptance of yourself is important for your happiness. We often beat ourselves up based on hurtful exchanges we have with others. Our inner critic, and Lord, she's a pain in my ass sometimes, guys. My inner critic is. Our inner critic takes negative feedback and spirals it out of control, making us feel worse about ourselves. However, you're the only you to ever exist. You bring something to the universe no one else can bring. The experiences that shaped you, the personality you have, and the insights you share with others in this time frame all play a role in the universe. We could tweak and change ourselves in infinite ways. However, when you look at who you are at its core, there's no one quite like you. And that's exactly what the world needs. Accept yourself as you are and play a role in shaping the world. Follow along to this acceptance meditation to help you accept yourself in your life. Now, I don't know how much. Let me see what this is, guys.
Welcome to a guided
Oh my goodness.
meditation.
Hold on, wait a minute. This one is very long, so let me Let me get the link, guys, and I will share, and y'all can listen to it. In just a minute, guys. This is what I was going to play. I didn't realize it was very long, but you guys can always go to it and listen to it if you would like to. All right. Hang on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Sorry. Number 2, things always change. The acceptance of what is boils down to the fact that things always change. Life is about impermanence. If we compare the world today to the world 20 years ago, we'll see that so much has changed. Today, people go on social media detox to take mental breaks from social media. However, I'm so sorry, Tiger, honey. Yeah, that's why I thought this was really important to go over, because people have a hard time with self-acceptance, with being accepted of others. People have a hard time with it. I'm one of them. So I thought this was really useful information to go over, because a lot of people have suffered with this or still continue to suffer with it. So this is just like little tips to help us all to see, anything to bring awareness to try to help somebody else, definitely. Excuse me. If we compare the world today to the world 20 years ago, we'll see that so much has changed. Today, people go on social media detox to take mental breaks from social media. However, 20 years ago, social media was still quite new and small. In our lifetimes, we've been through stages of grief as we lose loved ones, experience traumas, and go through never-ending changes. If there's one thing you need to accept in life, is that nothing stays the same. Number 3, and this just happened to me a couple of days ago. I got 1 year older. You'll always get older. While movies like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, that's a really good movie, by the way, if y'all have not seen it, gives us the opportunity to imagine a world where we age backwards. The reality is that today we don't. We only get older. Your 30s aren't the new 20s. You can't relive an experience just because it wasn't positive. Acceptance of what is all about acknowledging that you only live once and time is always running out. Instead of living in the past or the future, you need to live in the present. Well, Tiger Mama, honey, we're here for you. And we're glad that you're over here, love. Let's see. Instead of living in the past or the future, you need to live in the present. Do the things you want to do while you can do them. Be more accepting of the aging process instead of trying to look, act, and live like a younger version of yourself who didn't realize what they had when they had it. Well, I'm glad you're not going nowhere, Tiger Mama. You're part of our family. And we're glad that you feel comfortable here, and we're here for you. You'll lose people. Unfortunately, that's a part of life. Acceptance is all about realization that in life you're going to lose people. You'll lose romantic partners, friends, and even family members. While people will always leave you at one point or another, it's still important to notice that people will come into your life unexpectedly as well. You can't hang on to the memory of people your whole life. Instead, while people are alive, let them know how you appreciate them. Be vocal in why you love them and why you value about them. Praise your friends and family when they're around. Hug people, kiss people, high five them too. You never know when your last day with somebody will be. It can be a very unexpected experience. Yeah, I can't do drama either. It makes my anxiety skyrocket. I can't do the drama. That's why I just kind of stay in my own little corner and just do what I enjoy doing, bring awareness to things like this. And we do karaoke, which is positive. We need to get back into trivia. I just try to make it fun over here, but also very supportive. Because when I first started this channel going on 3 years ago, I can't believe that. That's crazy. Our main focus was mental health, so we just added a little bit to it, but it's still a mental health channel, just with a bunch of positive and good vibes with it mixed in. Number 5, there is no order. One of the biggest challenges of acceptance of what is to realize that there's no such thing as order. Life is chaotic, disorganized, and random. You can't plan the order of how things will work out in life. You could be planning to quit your job, get laid off unexpectedly the next day. Some parents bury their young children who die suddenly from cancer and the others terminal illnesses. No matter how badly we want to be an order for how things roll out in life, it just doesn't work out that way. Accept that there's no order, and you'll be on track to finding inner peace in the chaos. And I think that picture's so sweet. Number 6, you aren't your thoughts. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts surface into your mind without your control and no effort. Unfortunately, when a thought arises that isn't unpleasant, we often believe it and identify with it. However, we shouldn't. That's not us. Our brain has a mind of its own. The main goal of the brain is to keep you alive for as long as possible. So you might have thoughts that are intended to keep you socially part of the group, to keep you physically alive, and to promote self-improvement. However, you can pick and choose which thoughts you listen to, so choose wisely. Hello, Shelby. Good to see you. I hope you're well, honey. Happy New Year. I hope you had a good Christmas, and thank you for the birthday wishes. And I hope you had a good time with your family and the cruise. I hope you had a good time. Number 7, you can't control people. A life lesson to accept is that you can't control people. While we try to influence our children and romantic partners, the reality is that we should just let them be. Trying to make someone else more like us defeats their uniqueness and will create a rebellion. While it can be frustrating to watch people do the polar opposite of what we do, we need to understand that everyone has a different path in life. The goal of your path isn't to make people like you. Your life is much bigger than that. Accept that people will sometimes do things differently than you. People will like things you hate. That's okay. That's diversity. And look, this looks about like my house, guys. There's something all over. It's hard to keep your house clean. You got 3 young ones in the house, 2 teenagers and a 8-year-old. So that's about like my house right there. Hippie G-Ma's been here. She knows. Like, it's kind of like that Facebook post, like, oh, I'm sorry that you came to my house and it was clean for 5 minutes, and then you show up and then you have people, you have people show up and you're like, oh, well, you missed it 5 minutes ago. It was clean. Oh, we love bearded dragons, Tiger Mama. We got a bearded dragon. We got a gecko. We have 3 doggies and we have a cat. And Rebel wants a bird. Now, he wants a talking bird that will drive me crazy. Lord. Your family, you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your bloodline. Your family is given to you when you're born into this world, for better or worse. You can't change your parents, siblings, or any other relatives. While you might not like certain family members, you can't change your relationship to them. Oh, well, this is just my opinion, guys, and yes, the hell I can, because my sperm donor is a piece of shit. So I can not relate to that. Like, everybody else is good, but my sperm donor is a piece of shit, and I don't care if he's listening. I really don't give a shit. And I'll tell you guys the story here in just a few minutes when I get done with this. But I can't, like, I don't hate nobody, but he was never a father, guys. So, but anyway, I'll tell you guys the story of why I really absolutely despise that man when we're done with this. Okay. It says you can't change your relationships, the relationship to them. You'll always be related. While it can be hard for us to admit, you can't choose your family. Sometimes certain family members are toxic people. Absolutely. My sperm donor is most definitely toxic. And we want them out of our lives. But at the end of the day, they are still family. Number 9, the weather. One of the things to be more accepting of is the weather. Women all over the world pray that it doesn't rain on their wedding day. And it does anyway. People hope the climate change will happen, but the climate has always changed. Natural disasters strike at the worst times and cause the utmost chaos in our lives. Snowstorms knock out power lines on the day of the important meeting. Ultimately, acceptance of the weather is critical in life. The change of the seasons is a constant and a reminder that we don't control this planet. Mother Nature does. Actually, God does. That's just me, though. But look how pretty that picture is. They might be in the rain, but look how sweet that picture is. This is a good picture. I don't even know who that is, but number 10, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. We all set goals and plans for our future. We hold off on setting goals until a new year presents itself. Always putting everything off till tomorrow. Unfortunately, even though we've survived every yesterday so far, tomorrow still isn't guaranteed. Just as there's no order in life, there's no guarantee of how much time you'll have. Not even the rest of the day is guaranteed. So now, we don't mean to frighten you because you probably will still be alive tomorrow. However, do the things that are important to you right now. Plan for now, this present moment. Number 11, the past is over. The past only comes to your life and in our thoughts. However, if we stop thinking about a specific event, it immediately dies. The past is behind you. It's unchangeable. All you can do is have an acceptance of it. Accepting the past is the only way to live in the present. When you realize that this present moment is all you have, you realize how much you can do right now. You can apologize for hurtful exchanges of words or try to beg for forgiveness for past wrongdoings. But most importantly, you can take what you've learned and bring it with you to the present and set the tone for the behavior you want to have moving forward. Number 12, you're only the star of your life, not nobody else. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me get a sip of tea. In just a minute. Oh, yeah, Chihuahuas, they do get very cold quickly. Poor little things shake like nobody's business. Acceptance is acknowledging that the world doesn't revolve around you and other people's lives. In your life, you're the star of the show, the one all storylines come out of. However, in other people's lives, you play a minor role. Recognizing that will allow you to understand other people's behavior better. Most people act like their needs are the only ones that matter. Absolutely, especially some on these YouTube streets, guys. As you begin to recognize that people overinflate their self-importance, you becoming acceptance of your role in their life. That doesn't mean you make yourself smaller for other people to or become passive to toxic behavior. It more so means that you recognize the interconnectedness of the grander scheme of things. Number 13, people are both good and bad. We often label people as a good person or a bad one. If only it were that easy. In life, you have to accept that things are actually more neutral than extreme. There are no true saints, and there are no devils either. People are a mix of good and bad. People you view as good will do bad things, and people you view as bad will do good deeds. As people learn, grow, experience hardships, loss, mental agony, and other emotional roller coaster events, their behavior will change. People who make mistakes will learn from them. People who seem to not make any will make them too. Everyone has some haters. This is definitely in the YouTube streets, guys. Most definitely. But I think this is good to know. It's useful information. It helps you out, bringing awareness to it. So everyone has some haters. You could be the nicest, kindest, and coolest person in the world and still have haters. No one escapes having some people dislike them. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything wrong with you either. Some people just don't vibe with everyone. Hello, Darren. Good to see you. I hope you're well, my friend. I hope you had a good new year. Some people are especially good and bad, and some people do not learn from their mistakes. Absolutely. That's so true. So some people just don't vibe with everyone. Don't be afraid to live your life knowing that you have haters on the sidelines. Haters are going to hate, as the old saying goes. Keep being your awesome self. Take the risk you've always dreamed of taking. Live life on your terms, guys. Don't allow your inner critic to match the voice of your haters. That's easier said than done. That's just me, though. You should be your number one fan, not your enemy. Yes, I'm nice to everybody until they piss me off. That's a different ballgame, guys. Number 15, you want to experience everything. The acceptance of what is the realization that you won't be able to do all the things you had hoped to do and see in your life. While you can live an eventful life, you won't be able to travel to every country, eat every meal, cross off every bucket list item, and do everything you planned. You'll always be short one of these things, money, time, or your health. You can still live a great life doing some of the things you like to do. Accepting that you want to experience in everything your heart desires can be challenging. However, no one accomplishes everything they like to do before they die. And that's just the truth, guys. Like here's like a little bucket list picture. Sometimes you shouldn't get what you want. People always think about how they deserve everything they want. However, without the context of what the reality of the situation is, we sometimes don't realize that not getting something we want is actually a blessing. There are times when we really want something that isn't possible for us. This resistance to the acceptance of what is causes us so much suffering as a result. However, you can still live a happy life and a good life at that, despite of not getting what you want. There's a big difference, guys. Like I put the link in my community chat, guys. My family is in dire need of a vehicle. Dire need. And it's not a want. There's a difference. There's a huge difference between a want and a need. A need is something you absolutely need. A want is something that you want. Totally different. Needs be way before wants. At that, despite not getting what you want, sometimes not getting what you want worked out well for you. Number 17, good and bad events flow in and out of each other. Let the story unfold. Sometimes a bad event happens and good things come out of it as a result. Other times good things happen and bad things happen as a result. The reality is good and bad events flow in and out of each other until the story continues. Do you see that sometimes a bad event could have a positive outcome? Whether it's a life lesson, good deed, or acceptance of it before having a reaction to an event, let it first unfold. You might soon discover that the opposite of what you expected happened. In conclusion, the acceptance of What is a key component to accepting things in life, whether accepting yourself, your family, or anyone on the planet, really? It all boils down to knowing that we're all interconnected. Nothing is quite what it seems on the surface, except that all you have in life is this present moment, and you'll be operating within the realm of reality. Accept what you have and let go of what you don't. Resistance instead of accepting of what is what leads to our misery. Being acceptance of things sets us free. And that's all the information I got. I can't even talk, guys. That's all the information I got tonight, guys, which I know it's a lot of information. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thought it was really good and useful information. You never know what somebody, and like I keep it, you never know what somebody might need to listen to. When I keep these up, I never remove them. So I hope you guys enjoyed what I went over. But like I said, I've always, my whole entire life, I felt like that I was being rejected. My whole life. And I told you guys I would tell y'all a little bit after I got over the information. My whole entire life, I felt like I was being rejected because I was a preacher's daughter. And preacher's kids are being put up on a pedestal. You have to act a certain way. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to have all kinds of money. You got to blah, blah, blah. You got all that stuff. And if you're not up to the standards that people think you are, they reject you. They treat you badly. You want to be so bad accepted by everybody, and you be a good person, and that still ain't good enough. Like, it's very hard. It's very hard to be acceptance of yourself when you've always been rejected of yourself, if that makes sense. People always have rejected me from childhood, and it's because I was a preacher's daughter. I'm not anymore. But I was a preacher's daughter, and people bullied me because I didn't dress a certain way. Let's just say growing up, my family and I were very poor. We're still very poor. But so I didn't have specific things that people thought I had because I was a preacher's daughter. I got bullied because for a long time I was not allowed to wear pants or shorts or just, be myself. I wore culottes, if you guys know what those are. If you don't, they're kind of like wide leg shorts, but they're very long. They go to your ankles, and they made like a dress or a skirt. I'm sorry, but they're really, really wide legged. And most of the time they're homemade. Well, I wore those all my life until middle school, and I was sick and tired. I was sick and tired of being made fun of. Like, I was sick and tired of being rejected. I was like, well, if I do this, then maybe somebody might like me a little better, and people might accept me for just me and quit looking and rejecting me for what I look like and what I have, So, I took a pair of my brother's pants and hid them in my backpack. And in the middle school, and I changed, as soon as I got off the bus, I changed into the bathroom, took off the culottes, and put on my brother's pants. And I felt a little bit accepted at that time, that people knew that that wasn't me, because I had to hide me being who I truly was, if that makes sense. So before I got on the bus for the afternoon, I had to run to the bathroom and change my clothes so nobody would see it. Well, one of my classmates said, I'll tell. And I was like, no, if you tell, I'm going to unalive myself. And I wasn't really going to do that. But of course, he goes to counseling, the counselor at the school, and says that I was going to unalive myself because of me changing my clothes and trying to fit in and trying not to be so bullied and made fun of and rejected by everybody. So they called my mom My mom came up to the school. I was still in the pants, which, mind you, I was not allowed to wear. My mom came up to me. They had to search me. I had like pencil and a lip gloss or something like that in my purse, or in my pockets. I'm sorry. And because I said that, I was on an unalive watch. And then I went home and had to explain it to my piece of shit sperm donor, which, like I said, mind you, he was a preacher at that time. But I told him that I couldn't deal with it anymore. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be accepted of others and not rejected and not made fun of and not bullied and not being put down because he was a preacher. And so I've had childhood trauma for a very long time. But I told my sperm donor that, and he said, well, you can wear capris. I was like, okay, well, that's better than not. But I still got made fun of because I was in capris in the wintertime. Capris only go underneath your knees just for a little piece. Like they're longer than shorts, but shorter than pants, if that makes sense. So it was very hard for me to be accepted. People would ask me all the time, why are you in capris? It's snowing outside. Because I wasn't allowed to wear anything else. I wasn't allowed to be myself because of my sperm donor, which is a piece of shit. He was not my mom. My brothers could do whatever they wanted to. They could wear whatever they wanted to. But when it came down to me and my mother, we could only do what he made us do. He controlled us to do. My brothers, I'm not saying they got away with like dressing, however, they didn't have to dress a specific way. I was the only one. Me and my mom had to dress a specific way. Hey, HCC, good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. But it was really hard. It was really hard being rejected all my life, guys, because my piece of shit sperm donor wanted to control our lives. It's very hard. And I don't despise nobody, but like I was telling you guys, I don't know if you guys heard this or not, but we would go to church. We would go to church every time the doors were open. Every time. And every time the doors were open, if one of us fell asleep, if one of me, because I have 3 older brothers, I'm the baby and the only girl. If one of us acted up or fell asleep in church, all of our asses got beat. And literally beat, guys, not a whooping. Or like my brother fell asleep, so he got a whooping for falling asleep in church. We were all small, like really little. I think I was like 2 or 3 years old. Like I was little. This is from early childhood and then on up, But anyway, if one of my brothers fell asleep in church, we would all have to bend over on the couch and get our asses beat, like literally beat. So bad that we couldn't sit down for a couple of days. Literally could not sit down. So we would go to school trying to sit down on the chairs and the desk, and it would hurt us so bad that we'd have to sit under like our jackets or take a blanket or something with us because we was hurting so bad. I had to deal with that all my life. Wear long dresses to cover up the bruises if he accidentally hit me on the arm, or I'm not going to say it's an accident, but you know what I'm saying? I had to cover up, the bruises on my arms and my legs. So with long sleeves and long dresses and pantyhose and stuff like that, just so nobody will question it, because in everybody's eyes, a preacher is perfect. A preacher is perfect. They do no wrong. So when you go to church, you have to be perfect as the preacher. And when you come home, if you're not up to par, and you come home and then you get beat the shit out of. And so did my mama. So it wasn't just us kids growing up. It was also my wonderful mama. My parents divorced when I was 18. My sperm donor cheated on my mom several times before I turned 18. And mind you, like, I'm the baby and the only girl. So I felt like it was my fault for a long time. This is just a little bit more about me, and just you guys get to know me a little bit more, you know. And I know you guys, some of you guys have already heard it. But he cheated on my mom several times. He was in the military. He claimed that he was going like a weekend stay at the National Guard and wound up being a whore. I mean, I'm just blunt, guys. He wound up being a whoring around and to come home with hickeys and stuff all over his neck. And my mom asked him what it was, and he said, you know exactly what it is. And he said he wanted a divorce, but he told my mom that he wasn't divorcing her until I turned of 18 and graduated from school, because he did not want to provide for me, because I was the youngest, the only girl, and at that time when they were having issues, which they always had issues, but at that time, he said, I am not providing for Becca. So for a long time, I thought it was my fault that they divorced. I'm fine now, but it just hurts because it's trauma. But he said he would not provide for us. When he left, him and my mom broke up or whatever, he left me and my mom to defend for ourselves. We had to stay with some friends, just anything. I've lived a rough life, guys, like really bad. We've had to live with friends and other family, because that moron went and turned on the lights, went turn on the water where we was staying. He bought a trailer, but he went and turned on the lights or water. And my mom said, well, Becca has that. My mom wasn't worried about her. She was worried about me having water and lights and heat. For 6 months, we had to stay with somebody else until my mama had enough money to get the lights and the water turned on in her name, because that moron wouldn't. No, he didn't pay a penny child support, guys. Not a penny, because he would not divorce my mom until I turned 18. He would not sign the papers at all. He would not sign the divorce papers until I turned 18, because he did not want to provide for me. He did not want to provide for me, guys. And yes, unfortunately, he's still living. And he's such a piece of shit, guys. Y'all just don't know. He's such a piece of shit. It's really bad. But yes, he's still living. And this is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. The other day, my brother was missing. My brother. I have 3 older brothers, and the one that was missing, he lives close to my moron of a sperm donor. He used to treat my brother like a slave. My brother's never been married, don't have no kids. He treated him like a slave. He was so much that he gave him crumbs one day for Thanksgiving and said, Oh, we didn't make enough, but here's you some crumbs. He gave my brother crumbs. He gave my brother crumbs to eat. Well, a couple of days ago, he sent me a message, and I don't talk to him. I've completely erased him out of my life. He sent me a message that said Merry Christmas. So I sent him a just Merry Christmas back, just being civil. And I said, Merry Christmas. Have you heard from my brother Joshua? And that's the one I told you. And he said, no, I'm not. I'm cutting his lights off because the lights are in his name. Because my brother has a lot of health problems. He's a really bad diabetic. He stays to himself. He can barely walk. He's trying to get disability. He has a lot of health problems. And he used to treat him like a slave. Like I said, they gave him crumbs and barely any money. Like if he did anything for him, he would give him like $5 or $10 and say that payment. Yeah. Well, like I said, the other day he sent me a message, said Merry Christmas. I sent Merry Christmas back. And I said, have you talked to Joshua? Because he lives 5 minutes from my brother. 5 fucking minutes, guys. 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes. And he said, no, I haven't seen him in over a month. So I sent the message to my mom because we was all worried about him. Nobody had heard from my brother for over 30 days. Nobody, not a single soul has heard from my brother in over 30 days. So I messaged Moron after he sent me a Merry Christmas, and I said, well, considering Joshua lives the closest to you, have you seen him or heard from him? And he said, no, I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard from him or seen him in over 30 days. And I'm like, well, you live the closest to him. You live the closest to him. Can you go check? And he sends me a message to try to control me. It's not what a narcissist does. He said, he's not at home. I'm turning his lights off. I think you know more than what you're telling me. I said, no, sir, I don't. I said, I don't. I just know that nobody's heard from my brother in 30 days. And we're all worried about him because he's sick and you live the closest to him. So I sent all the messages to my mom and my older brother. My older brother contacted Clintwood, Virginia, and he filed a missing persons report saying that none of us had heard from him in 30 days. Well, this is so sick and demented. I don't even know what it is, guys. Okay, so the cops show up at my sperm donor's house instead of my brother's house, which they should have been to. But the thing about it is, my sperm donor goes to this church. This church is run by all police officers. They're all have cheated on their wives several times, all been married a bunch of times. And so they went, and they're preachers and deacons of this church. So they went to my sperm donor's house instead of my brother's house, which makes no damn sense. My brother's in his 40s. They should have went to his house, not my sperm donor's house. So they go to my sperm donor's house. My sperm donor drops a bomb, says that my brother's on drugs and everything. Hey, Mama Bear, good to see you, honey. Hope you're well. And I'm so sorry, Tiger Mama. I love you, honey. Prayers, sweetheart. I hate to hear that. But so they went to my moron's house. He said my brother's on drugs, that he's there every night. After he sit there and told me a message saying that he ain't seen him in over, he hasn't seen him in over 30 days. He contradicted himself, told the cops that he comes home every night and all that shit. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. So I screenshotted the text he sent me, sent it to my brother, sent it to my mom, sent it up to whoever I needed to send it to. Because I'm like, that's right there's proof. He said that he hasn't seen him in over 30 days. So anyway, so he says that my brother's on bad drugs, which he isn't, and that he comes home every night. which he doesn't. Anyway, so we were all concerned. Like, we were scared. We were scared to death that my brother was dead. We were scared because nobody heard from him. He has a sorry. He has a hard time walking. He's got a really bad back. He's a really bad diabetic, so bad that he has to have insulin. Excuse me. He has to have insulin to live. And if he don't have his insulin, he will die. That's as bad as his diabetes is. He has to have it. So we was all concerned that we hadn't heard from him in 30 days. So he sends my sperm donor sends a message to my older brother, the one that turned in the missing persons and the well check for his house. All right, so they go there to my sperm donor's house instead of my brother's house, mind you. Like I said, he's 5 minutes down the road. This moron lives 5 minutes away from my brother and can't go freaking visit him. So he sends a message to my brother saying, Joshua comes home every night. So they called off the missing persons report. My mom contacted the investigators. They told my mom that he lied, that missing person report was still going on, and that they were going to search for him. Well, later on, about a couple of hours later, they said that they found him. Thank the Lord. Thank the Lord they found him. He was a couple houses down or in that same facility of his house, but was just kind of hiding from my sperm donor. But now you guys see why. He treated him like a slave. But then he's fine. He's okay. But that moron was so mad because they found Joshua, my oldest brother, or one of my oldest brothers. They found him. And he didn't want to be found. He wanted to be hidden from everybody. But he sent a message to my mom and said that he was good. And that he didn't like the cops showing up. But I mean, what can you do when you ain't heard from your family member in over 30 days? You didn't know. You didn't know what happened. You know, so, but my moron sperm donor was trying to fill the cop's heart, trying to fill the cop's head with bullshit, saying that my brother is a DD and all this stuff. And he wasn't. He was working. But that's how bad that I've been rejected all my life. That's just a little tidbit, guys. But it's been mainly from my sperm donor. And me growing up as a child, wanting to be accepted of everybody. Because I was so hurt deep down inside. Well, if somebody accepts me, not counting my mom, my brothers, if somebody accepts me, then maybe I can get some help. Maybe the good Lord will provide it and make, at that time, my daddy a better person. Well, I'm glad he's okay too. He stays to himself. So, I mean, he's not married. He don't have no children. So, and he's always been kind of a loner. But I'm just glad that he's okay. I mean, he hasn't reached out to me, but at least he reached out to my mom and let her know that he was okay. So that made us have a little bit of peace of mind. But he lives like 2 hours away from me. And so we was all concerned. I'm like, I can't just drop down. I mean, like, that moron lives 5 minutes away from him, and you ain't seen him in over day. You haven't seen him in over 30 days, and you can't go 5 minutes down the road and see if he's okay. We was all thinking the worst. There was a cliff behind my brother's house and everything. We were scared. And my brother, he's got a dog. He loves his animals. So I guess you could say sister-in-law, because that was one of his ex-girlfriends. They've been back and forth together, not together. So, I mean, we'll just say sister-in-law. My brother's sister-in-law, or she's like a sister-in-law, let's just say that. She's been in the family for 20 plus years. So, it's rough when you worry about your family members. I was scared to death. Thinking that something, I was thinking, well, damn, true crime came to my house. Like, that's not something you think about. You know, I'm glad he's okay, but I'm just scared that if he don't get away from sperm donor, that something bad might happen. And so, like, I've been dealing with this shit my whole entire life. And my sperm donor decides, well, my brothers have already washed their hands of me. Well, let me try to message Becca. Let me see. Let me see if Becca needs something. I said, absolutely not. He sent me a message on my birthday. Granted, he don't never remember my damn birthday. He don't even remember that I was a twin. My mom was twins with me, and she was 6 months pregnant with me, and she miscarried my twin, and then I was left. But that moron don't even remember that I was a twin. But he sends me a message the other day for my birthday. Happy birthday, Becca. I love you. I was like, thanks. Like, I don't have, like, you guys just don't know. I've lived in trailers almost all my life. My sperm donor would get mad at my mom, my brothers, me, or somebody. And you know, if you know anything about a trailer, trailers are long hallways. Well, he would bring a belt and lasso it around his head and run down the hallway after one of my brothers or me. My mom would step in the way and he would beat my mom. She would step in the way to take care of us so we didn't get hurt, and he would beat my mom. So that's the kind of life that I have lived. And so I've always wanted to be accepted of everybody. I just have a big heart, and I think, more people need to have bigger hearts. And I know it's very hard to be accepting of everybody because not everybody's your cup of tea. And I understand that. But when you have so much trauma growing up and you've always been rejected all your life, being accepted makes you feel good, makes you feel like you have a purpose in life and not going through the hell that you've been through your whole entire life. Guys, I'm 38 years old. I've dealt with this my whole life. My whole life. I love you, Unicorn Honey. Have a good night, sweetheart. But this is just a part of my life, and I try not to let it control me, but sometimes you just have to let it out. He's worse than an alcoholic. He used to be an alcoholic, and now he likes to shove stuff up his nose, which I don't judge, but if he don't have that, he's bad. He's worse than what he is when he don't have something to shove up his nose, if that makes sense, without saying it. And like I said, he's been in the military, guys. Thank you, honey. Thank you, you guys. He's been in the military, and he treats people like this, and he thinks it's okay. And mind you, guys, you're not supposed to, and I'm not getting Christian on you guys or nothing like that, but in the Bible it says something to the fact that if you commit adultery, I don't know word for word, guys, I can't think straight right now, but anyway, if you commit adultery with your significant other, you're not allowed to preach the gospel anymore. Well, guess what he's doing, guys, on Wednesday night? He's the Wednesday night preacher at the church that is covered by cops, deacons, and these cops and deacons have been married several times, and they got all each other's backs. So that's why they went to his house instead of my brother's, because it's one of the cops that my sperm donor knows. Yes, ma'am. But yeah, he's a preacher. He preaches on Wednesday nights. How can you be a preacher and preach the gospel when you're a piece of shit? That's just me, though. I'm not trying to be judgy, but I could say it. I could say it because I've lived it. How can you preach the gospel and be a God-fearing Christian when you have treated your immediate family like crap. He's been married. I've been with Rebel almost 15 years. In that 15-year time frame, he's been married. Counting my mom would be 5 years. He was with my mom for almost 30 years. But how can I just don't understand. And every time that he gets a new family, see, he marries for the money, and when the money's gone, he's out the door. So when he marries for the money and the money's gone, he's out the door, he goes to the next victim. And I have to say victim because that's exactly what they are, because he suckers them in, lures them in, takes their money, and leaves. Yes, and it's so sad that the good preachers out there, these bad preachers, give the good preachers a really bad name just because of what has been done. And I think it's awful. It's really awful, guys. And that's why I'm so hard on myself. I try to be acceptance of others. I have terrible self-esteem. Oh my gosh, it's in the toilet. It's really bad. I don't think I have any self-esteem at all. It's really bad, guys. But I'm 38 years old, and like I said, it's not your trauma, and I know a lot of people suffer with trauma. Your trauma never goes away. I'm 38 years old, and my trauma's been around my whole entire life. Sometimes it feels good to let it out and let people know and bring awareness to the story and might be able to help somebody else. But the trauma, in my opinion, never goes away. It's always there. It's always a part of your life. That's why a few minutes ago when I covered family, I was like, to a certain extent, but my sperm donor is a piece of crap. I mean, truly, guys. My grandmother, the only grandmother I have living, she said there's a special day in hell, special place in hell for people like that, that treat people like that. And those flames are getting higher and higher. And that's what my grandmother says, which is my mom's mother. You don't treat people like that and think it's okay. You don't treat your children like that and think it's okay. You just don't do that. But that's a little bit of part of my life. It kind of goes hand in hand with this, what we covered tonight. So I figured, might as well share a little bit more of my story with you guys. I know y'all have heard my story, but I think a lot of it, I'm so sorry, guys. When I met Rebel almost 15 years ago, I was with an ex. She was very narcissistic. And I did say she, because I was in a relationship with a woman. She was very controlling. She would take her whole entire paycheck and do with what she wanted. And the paycheck that I got from working at the gas station had to go for bills. I didn't even have money to buy feminine things that you need every month if you're a female, or a pack of cigarettes or nothing. She took all the money, paid the bills, and she didn't give me nothing. So I met Rebel, and God blessed me with such an amazing man. But I felt in my heart, because I was rejected all my life for what I dealt with, and I was a preacher's kid, that if I become gay or become attracted to women, maybe I would get accepted better. Maybe I would be less rejected. So I called my moron at that time, because I was 18 when I came out, and told everybody. And my moron said, "That doesn't surprise me. You have gay friends." So I think a lot of that was because I got SA'd when I turned that way. They told me and as I mean several told me they was gonna turn me straight because of what I was, because I choose to be that way, because I wanted to be accepted, and I felt if I was attracted to women, and not necessarily mean I would be accepted more than rejected. Well, that was okay a little bit until I got SA'd by several, got left on the road for dead, and these people told me that they was going to turn me straight. They left me on the side of the interstate to die. And luckily, one of my friends pulled over and picked me up and took me to the hospital. They did the kit. They did all the stuff, took pictures and all that. And those people, those men got away with it. Those men got away with it. So, I mean, like all my life has been a constant battle of trying to make others accept me for me, because I've been rejected all my life. And I know it's hard, and I'm not trying to put a pity party on me, because I know everybody's got their own story, but that's just a little bit of mine. And I wanted to share it with you guys so we might be able to help somebody else along the line. But being accepted and being rejected is a very hard thing to deal with when you've been rejected your whole entire life. And you just, like growing up, you just want people to like you, not make fun of you, So that's just what I've dealt with my whole life. And it's still a battle. Don't get me wrong. It's still a battle, but I'm older and I'm still learning. But I have to get rid of the toxic in my life. And that toxic is the sperm donor. So I've completely washed my hands of him. If he'll send me Merry Christmas, I'll say Merry Christmas. Like, excuse me. But that's it. But as soon as I question about my brother's safety, he gets all defenseful mode. So, I mean, I've been dealing with this my whole life. I'm so sorry, Tiger Mama. So, I mean, that's just a little bit more. My sperm donor was born in 1961. August the 17th, 1961. So, he is what? 63, almost 64 years old. He'll be 64 in August. My mama will be 62. Hold on, wait a minute. He was born in 61. My mama was born in 63. So my mama will be 62 this month, January the 6th. And he will be 64 December. He will be 64 August. Yeah. Yeah, my mom was born January the 6th, 1963. Well, that's probably why I get along with you guys so well, because y'all are close to my mama's age. But that's just what I've dealt with growing up, guys, as a kid. And it, like I said, it goes hand in hand with what we just covered, the acceptance. Well, you're not much older than me, Tiger Mama. Because I'm 38, so you're only 6 years older than me, Tiger Mama. So you're like an older sister, Tiger Mama. And so is Summer Thunder. Y'all are all like family to me. And I really appreciate you guys so much for listening to my story. I know it's not, I know this is not positive or good vibes, but I think when you bring awareness to it and you say a story with it, it kind of goes hand in hand with what you're bringing awareness to. You know what I mean? So if I could tell a little bit of my story to be a difference and to help somebody else to understand acceptance a little bit better, or being rejected all your life, I know how it feels. Trust me, I do. I really do. And I still have struggles with it all the time of being accepted and not rejected all the time. My whole entire life, it's like I'm walking on eggshells because I've always been like that. Oh, Miss Cindy, honey, he was, my grandfather passed away about 4 years ago on my mom's side. He snuck into the funeral home because he was not invited. He snuck into the funeral home, and my oldest brother seen him, and he said, "You ain't welcome here." My oldest brother he almost beat the shit out of him at my grandfather's funeral. The only thing that stopped him was that my grandmother said, "Let's not do this, guys. Let's not do this, guys. We're not here for this." But yeah, so he said that he was shunned. He wasn't invited. He was shunned at my grandfather's funeral. Well, you was asked not to come, but you came anyway. So, of course, people are going to be mad. I know most of you guys are like my second mama, older sister, something like that. But I really appreciate you guys listening. I just want, if my story, or anybody's story for that matter, can help somebody else in understanding better of what we go through and bringing awareness to it, I think it's all good, guys. Anybody to help somebody else. To help somebody else and be a difference in somebody's life. And let them know that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to not feel accepted all the time. But that's a part of life. But that's just the hell that I've been through my whole entire life. Like I was telling you guys, I've had a hard time accepting myself. I have terrible self-esteem, bad, and now you guys can understand why. Because my whole life has been hell, except for 15 years. And not count my mama. My mama is an amazing woman. But that's just the hell that I've went through growing up. And I just, if I can use my story to help somebody else, I definitely will. Plus, it helps sometimes to get crap off your chest if it's building up, And Miss Cindy, I hope your daughter's doing okay, sweetheart. Just know she's not alone. And that we love her and we're praying for her. Thank you so much, Tiger Mama. I really appreciate it, love. You did not have to do that, honey, but thank you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Yeah, I don't ask for anybody anything, guys. I really don't. I don't ask. I didn't really want to be monetized, but I wanted to have memberships. I wanted you to guys have little angel wings beside you. So, unfortunately, In order for you guys to have angel, thank you, Tiger Mama. In order for you guys to have little angel wings beside you, if you want to be a member, you don't have to be, but y'all are all angels in my eyes because you're there for me and y'all make a difference in my life. Y'all just don't realize how much I appreciate you guys and I love you guys. Really, truly. It's the truth. Yes, Miss Julie. I know, honey. It's just hard when your whole life, like I said, it was up until I was 18. So that, granted, that was 20 years ago, right? But still, it's still a part of me. It's a part of my life. And I want, to share it with you guys and maybe help somebody along the way. You take, this is what I've always said, you take your pain and try to flip it around so you can help others. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I want to do. I want to be a good person in this world, be a difference in somebody's life and let them know it's okay. Because trust me, guys, I suffered. I know a lot of you guys do too. So I'm not putting it all on me. I'm not putting this all on me. I've never asked for anything. I'm never asked, I just put my Cash App, my PayPal up there. I do the monetization, but I don't never ask for it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I really do. And I know these lives can be triggering and people kind of shy away from these because they are triggering but I'm just trying to anything to help somebody else, anything to be a difference in somebody's life and let them know it's all right. Trust me, if I can do it and not unalign myself. Thank you so much, Tiger Mom. I really appreciate you, love. Thank you so much for joining, honey. And trust me, you would be unhuman. You wouldn't be human if you said, well, that's never crossed my mind. I talked to my doctor today to get my psychologist to get everything refilled and all that stuff. And she said, do you have any thoughts of hurting yourself or others? And I said, well, I would be lying if I told you that I didn't. I didn't, because everybody, it's life, guys. It happens. Everybody has a thought. They might not act on the thought, but it is there. You have, it does cross your mind if you wanted to unalive somebody, not necessarily yourself, but they always ask you that if you go to the doctor. So I'm like, well, I would be lying if it didn't cross my mind. I'm not saying I would do it, but I would be lying if it didn't cross my mind, So, just anything to help somebody, I'm all for it. Anything to let them know it's okay. We got you. You're supported. We love you. It's okay not to be okay. I think it's very important to let people know, it really is. But like I said, I've never asked for anything. Like I got monetized because, like I said, I like the little angel wings. I think they're really cute. And you can become a member or not. It don't matter. You're still angels in my eyes. But unfortunately, YouTube takes 30% of your earnings. So, and you have to make at least $100 before they will even pay you. And it's only once a month. So that's the only downfall about being monetized. And those ads, I wish I could take them off, but as soon as you turn the monetization off, thank you, Miss Cindy, honey. Thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate you, honey. Thank you, sweetie. Y'all did not have to do that. Y'all really didn't have to, but I just, like I said, I don't ask for anything. I just appreciate you guys and love y'all dearly. And y'all don't know how much of a difference y'all have made in my life. You know, y'all just don't know. And I hope that I've done the same for you guys. But like I said, I don't make it about me. I never have and I won't. But I just want, so y'all know a little bit more about me and what I've been through in my life. It's hard. But like I said, when I've always told you guys this from since day one, if y'all ever need anybody to talk to, I'm here for you. No questions asked. I might not understand what you're going through, but that's okay because I could just be there for you and say it'll be okay. I could be a shoulder to cry on or an ear to cry on or whatever the case may be. And that's just how I am. I've always been that way. I have the biggest heart in the world. Will do anything for anybody. And that's not going to change. It's just, it's still hard. So I really appreciate you guys. I really do so much. But yeah, I'm not like these other YouTubers. Like Rebel said, I'm going to be a grifter or drifter or whatever the hell that's called. I just give you guys a hard time. Y'all don't really have to do that. Y'all really don't have to, but I really, really appreciate it. I really do. I was trying to sing the song We Are Family. Miss Julie, that's fine, honey. You don't have to do that, sweetheart. I'm poor too. I really am poor. Like, no, I didn't ask not one bit. And I really, really appreciate, what y'all can do. If you can't do it, I know I still love you. I don't love you guys because y'all send over cash apps or whatever, or do little super stickers. I appreciate you guys for being here and supporting me. That means the world to me. Y'all just don't know. No, I do not, Hippie G Ma. I don't do that. I would never. But yeah, Rebel, he says, I'm going to grift or drift, whatever the damn word is. But so that's why I just put it on there. Like, if people want to donate, they can. If people don't want to donate, they don't have to. It's appreciated, but like, you really don't have to do that. I just really, really appreciate you guys coming in here and supporting, me and being there for me and us being a family. I really, really appreciate you guys so much. Grift, drift, whatever. I can't never think of the darn word. Daggone it. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you. I can't remember it. Hippie G Ma, how she go to bed? I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You guys think. And Hippie G Ma, like I said, what you see on here is really, I'm the same person in real life. Really. Hippie G Ma knows. She knows. I'm just me. I'm little old me that's been through pure hell in my life, but still try to make a difference in people's life. I try to stay strong, even though it's hard as hell. But I just want to be there for others and lift each other up and let people know that they're supported and it's okay not to be okay. I love you, Hippie G Ma. I'm just playing. I know you're laying in your bed on your phone. Hush. She's snuggled up with her doggies. She knows I'm just playing. See, if she didn't know me in real life, she'd be like, screw you, Becca, I'm leaving. She knows. Oh, you guys just don't realize when Hippie G Ma and Rebel get together, Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my Lord. It's crazy. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a mess. But I really appreciate you guys so much. I'm getting ready to jump off here. These youngins are still awake. So,
hi guys. I'm not feeling too good.
Yeah, Tyler's got a virus. All this crap is going around. I love you, Hippie G Ma. I'm just playing. You know that. But I know she's laying in her bed beside her doggies. I know that. She's on her phone or her tablet, one of them. Aw, Tiger Mama. Well, hugs to each and every one of you guys. And I like this. I need to get it tattooed on me sometime. I know that feeling, Miss Cindy. You ain't tell me nothing, honey. It's terrible. Even the Dollar Tree TP is expensive. I'm just saying. Lord, Summer, that was a while ago, honey. But I really appreciate you guys so much. I really, really do. And I love each and every one of you guys. And Hippie G-Ma said, Tyler, she sends you prayers. He's got a really bad cough. Really bad cough. First, I thought it was bronchitis. They checked him for flu, COVID, and everything today. And they just said that he had one of them bad viruses that's got a bad cough. So I know, Summer Thunder. Hippie G-Ma took us, and it was me, Tim, our Rebel, and the babies. We all went.
Where?
But to Summer Thunders. I mean, to Summer Wells's vigil, Summer Thunder said. Lord, I'll get it right here in a minute. Lord, have mercy. I'm telling you. Well, Lord, you've known us longer than that, Hippie G-Ma. Lord, I don't even know how long you've known Rebel for a long time. Oh, Hippie G-Ma, you going to whoop Tyler's here? Honey, he said that you've known his daddy for 1,000 years.
You're old.
Hippie G-Ma's going to whoop your butt.
You're old to me because you're my grandma.
Well, I love you, Julie, and that's important, honey. And thank you so much for coming in here. I hope you have a wonderful night, sweetheart. Hey, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I know the struggle's real, guys. Trust and believe. So I know all about it. The struggle is most definitely real. So I really appreciate.
Granny on here is my grandma, and Hippie Grandma's my grandma, and the rest of y'all can be like my aunts because y'all are young.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. Like I said. Yeah. 2 years since the vigil. Yes, exactly. But I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything. I really, really appreciate it so much. And I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Just remember, and this is the saying I like to hear. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. So just remind yourself and remind yourself that you are an amazing person. You are loved over here. You are supported over here. And just know it's okay not to be okay. We all have some kind of hell we're going through, but that makes us who we are as a community to support one another. Tyler, I can see it. Hey, Shocked. Good to see you. I hope you're well, my friend. But I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Don't forget to put in your song for the bonfire tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Eastern on White Trash Family. It's a Make America Great Again bonfire. So send in your song that you think would be good for that type of bonfire. USA song, Make America Great Again song, just whatever. But I love you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you guys so much for coming in here and listening to me have my moment for a minute. I really appreciate y'all. And I love y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, White Trash Family, MAGA bonfire. And then tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern is some more karaoke. And then Saturday night at 5 p.m. Eastern is Motley Crue concert. And then at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Saturday night is some more karaoke. So hope to see you guys there. I love each and every one of you guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I want to say this before I go. You never know what somebody's going through, what they're currently going through, what they've been through in their life. Be kind to one another. It doesn't cost nothing to be kind to someone. Don't be no better than nobody, because nobody's better than nobody. But be a better person than you was yesterday. Be a difference in somebody's life. People always remember what you said to them and what you've done for them. So just remember to try to be a good person. And just know you're not alone. You're loved. You're supported over here. And I really appreciate you guys. And I hope y'all have a wonderful night. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Love y'all.
I love y'all. See ya.